Hello and welcome to Paris, France for stage 3 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. We're here in the beautiful Chateau de Vincennes, former home to the French royal family. And we're here on Compound Saturday for the individual finals. Shooting over this 50-metre range, the archers will shoot a cumulative score. Well, the French flag there showing what the conditions are like with the wind. It's been very unpredictable for the archers, but it's a lovely 19 degrees Celsius outside. Well, we are down to the compound women's final 4. Let's go and meet them.
Jyoti Surekha Venom, India.
Sophie de Démon, France.
Maria Shkolna, Luxembourg.
Ella Gibson, Great Britain.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the coaches and judges to the field of play.
Well, that is our lineup for the final 4 in the compound women's competition. Here is the schedule for this session. 2 semi-finals followed by the bronze and gold for both the women and then the men. Here's how the draw panned out. Ella Gibson coming through the top to meet Maria Shkolna. Britain versus Luxembourg at the top of the draw. It's France versus India at the bottom as Sophie Daudemont takes on Venom from India. Athletes out for semi-final number 1. Ella Gibson from Great Britain is 22 years old and the world number 6, taking on Luxembourg's Maria Shkolna.
On target number 1, representing Great Britain, Ella Gibson. On target number 2, representing Luxembourg, Maria Shkolna. The line judge for this matchup is Paya Warnombre.
Athletes introduced, I'm Karen Basher, and joining me, former world number 1, Nikki Hunt. Nikki, Ella Gibson's already qualified for the finals, having won a stage already this season. Can she double up here? Is the pressure all off?
Yeah, I think a lot of the pressure will be off for her. You know, everyone wants at this stage to get themselves into the final, so let's see what she can do.
A cumulative score for these archers. Up and ready to go. Onto the shooting line. 5 ends of archery, 3 arrows per end. Ella Gibson of Great Britain, stage winner already this season, to get the semi-final underway.
Well, that's the kind of start you want, isn't it? Straight into the X ring, 50 metres away. Brilliantly matched. Shooting 5 ends here, 3 arrows per end, alternating between the archers. Raw score.
What a start here. Just dropping into the 9 for Shkolna. But the quality of the start, very impressive. We run through to this semi-final. Well, for Shkolna, she was ranked 28 after the qualification round. She beat Yusunasova from Kazakhstan, Oh Yoo-hyun from Korea, Anderson of Great Britain, Oliveira of Brazil. Gibson here, well, she came through the ranking round first with a 7-12. Great score there, beating Fung of Hong Kong, teammate Foster from Great Britain, and Gonzalez of Puerto Rico before the big one against Bostan of Turkey. So neither run has been simple, But what a start from Gibson.
Yeah, she's just been absolutely on the roll, hasn't she? Since we've come back from the break, she's worked hard. She's a full-time archer, and it's all paying off. You know, she's shooting so well and maintaining that under pressure as well.
Long hold from Szkolna there for the 24-year-old world number 26 for the last arrow.
Yeah, and it just dropped down into the 9, didn't it? So she's got to stick with that normal process.
Direction la deuxième volée désormais. La luxembourgeoise Maria Schreiner va démarrer cible numéro 2.
Start of the second end, and it will be Szkolna who's training, who shoots first.
9.
Another 9 from her.
Just see a little bit of bouncing around that bow. Calming herself down a little bit. Really long hold here. You only got those 20 seconds to make the shot, just catching the line.
Moving around in the wind, but another 10 for another 29. Can Gibson go perfect through the second? Another perfect score for Gibson. She goes on to 60 points to 58 from Szkolna. Szkolna's improved over the last few seasons. She's working with a Croatian, Dubravko Budin, and it really has made a difference to her performance.
Yeah, I mean, he's coached his own children, hasn't he, as well, who've been very successful compound archers. And yeah, here he is making a difference to the Luxembourg team as well.
Tough match in the quarterfinals for Szkolna, 144-144 at the end of the regulation ends, and she had to come through a shoot-off. She shot an X to Brazil's Oliveira's 9. That's the 2015 World Youth Bronze medalist. Has now started to break in to the higher ranks of women's compound archery. But what a phenomenon Ella Gibson is. She's come out this season, and it's almost like there's a new athlete in there.
Yeah, I think her confidence has grown. She made the decision not to go to university. She's been a full-time archer since around about 2019, I believe. Putting huge qualification scores in, but now putting good shots in under pressure as well.
Start of the third end. Szkolna trailing by 2, shoots first. Just looked at the archer from Luxembourg was just getting thrown about a bit. Both of them just getting slightly hit by the wind now. It's not a strong wind. Another long hold and another 9. This is incredible shooting. That's 3 perfects in a row for Ella Gibson. Difficult to know what she's saying. The hand signals look like there's a little bit of, oh, that was a bit lucky.
Yeah, we won't know exactly what they're saying, but she's got Duncan Busby there, who's, you know, he's been on the line himself and done it all before. I think he was sort of being like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good, Ella, you know, you're rocking this. Just checking over the arrows for any damage on the way back. She is shooting them really tight together, so it's possible you can damage the knock at the back of the arrow.
Not bad from Skolna either. 3 nines in her 9 arrows so far, and there they are checking the arrows for any damage. Not doing badly at all, just getting a look at Coach Bouden, or just a glimpse of him. There is Coach Busby. Get a good view of the archer from behind. Doesn't really give you a concept of what 50 meters looks like, but the wind did certainly seem to be playing at least tricks with their minds in that third end. Gibson, though, has remained perfect, so Skolna will start the fourth.
X10. 10.
Right on the edge. I think she'll just make a fine adjustment maybe there.
The first perfect for Skolna from Luxembourg. First drop point from Ella Gibson from Great Britain. So still a 2-point lead after 4 of the 5 regulation ends. First drop point for Gibson. Is that going to play on her mind?
I don't think so. I think sometimes it takes the pressure off a little bit, because your mind's like, oh, I'm going for the 150 here. It can be a bit distracting. She came off the line with a bit of a smile, and that's the best way to react to it, really. She knows she's ahead. She's shooting strongly. So, again, just checking those arrows over.
Skolna has not shot badly at all, dropping 1 point in each of the first 3 sets and then a perfect. It's not a bad score at all.
Yeah, it's impressive. It really is, but this level is all about, you know, minimising those mistakes. And she had those couple slightly long holds in the first couple of ends, and she just dropped low with those. So that last end, she managed to really keep that confidence flowing, and she finally got that perfect 30.
It's time for the last end of the first compound women's semi-final here in Paris at stage 3 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. Maria Skolna, 117 from Luxembourg, plays Ella Gibson from Great Britain, who's on 119.
X10.
Another 9, opening the door. Possibilities here for the Luxembourg archer.
X10.
The X there now potentially could put pressure on Gibson.
X10.
Yeah, all those 4 arrows before were just a little bit left, weren't they? She's made that adjustment now, back in the X ring. Wonder if the wind has just pushed them over a little bit.
No.
Dropping down to a 9 for a 146, an 8 to draw level, 9 to make it through to the gold medal match. into the 10 to finish with a 148, dropping just 2 points throughout the whole of the semi-final. And Ella Gibson has progressed through the semi-finals, and she'll shoot for gold again here this season at the Hyundai Archery World Cup circuit stage. What a performance from her. Gibson of Great Britain through to the gold medal match. We'll see Szkolna back out here on the shooting line for bronze a little bit later on. Good communication between the athletes at the end of that. A lot of conflab discussing perhaps the conditions.
Yeah, no, it's great to see, you know, everyone on the tour get on really well, and it's just, you know, the more you can enjoy yourself, the better you're going to shoot. Both archers now both got to go into another match. Ella into the gold and Szkolna into the bronze, so keep your high spirits and get in there and do your best.
There we have it, Ella Gibson of Great Britain through to the final. We'll see Maria Szkolna from Luxembourg in the bronze medal match. First semi-final done here in Paris in the compound women's individual tournament. One more to come though.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next to the second semi-final matchup in the compound.
Well, Nikki, we take a look back over the match. Szkolna didn't shoot badly at all.
No, not bad. I mean, you know, the lowest end was a 29. It's just that she had 4 of those and Ella only had 2, so not much in it at all. Great shooting from both of them, and going to see some more good matches yet to come.
Well, philosophical there from Maria Szkolna. I think she thought, well, I didn't shoot badly at all. I was just over the other side of the shooting line. Well, someone just that little bit better. Ella Gibson going through for gold here in Paris. We're over on the east side of the French capital. Be hosting the next Summer Olympic and Paralympic Games. Out now for semi-final number 2 in the compound women's individual. We have a big one, a matchup between 2 heavyweights in this division. Let's go down for the athlete introductions.
On target number 1, représentant la France, Sophie Dodémont. On target number 2, representing India, Jyoti Surrekavena. The line judge for this match is Maki Naka.
Well, this is a massive matchup between 2 of the powers in this sport. Sophie Dodémont of France, 48 years young, and the world number 14, up against Jyoti Surrekavena of India, 25 years old, and the world number 3. Dodémont picked up an Olympic team bronze medal in 2008 in Beijing before switching to compound archery. Jyoti Surrekavena picked up a silver medal at the Hyundai Archery World Cup final last year. It is Venom to shoot first in semi-final number 2.
Straight on the spider, the very centre of that target.
Wow, what a standard these 2 have set. Two X's and a 10 for Venom for a 30. Perfect score.
9.
Just going high into the 9 for Daudemont. So Venom getting the early lead, but what quality from the start of this match. I mean, it's certainly what we expected.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that Jyoti Venom was the first female compound archer to shoot that perfect 150. So she's still on for it now. Can she do it again? In televised competition, I should add to that as well.
It's difficult enough as it is, but when you've got a bunch of cameras pointing at you, it makes it even tougher. These two faced each other already today in the mixed team gold medal match. Venom coming away with the win with Abhishek Verma. 152, 149. Daudemont on that occasion teamed up with JP Bush. They're back out again. That experience perhaps of the field may be an indicator of why the quality's so high at the start of this match.
Yeah, it's certainly useful if you've been on before, already shot some team matches, you're used to the venue, and it helps with the nerves as well.
Start of the second end of this compound women's individual semi-final. Sophie Daudemont trailing by 1 to Jyoti Venom. Shoots first.
No.
Just a few little movements you could see with that shot, not a lot though. A little bit of wind on the shirt of Jyoti. Long hold, a few movements. Wasn't quite happy with it.
Well, could this one be about the adjustments to the conditions? A smile from Daudemont on a 29. Matched by Venom. Nikki, I'll ask you the same question. Is it going to be about who adjusts better to the conditions? Because it does look like it's just ever so slightly changeable. Not a strong wind, but changeable.
Yeah, and look into the crowd, lots of umbrellas have gone up as well, so perhaps a little bit of rain to deal with. Can be a little bit more tricky compound with the rain, so they are looking through a peep sight in the back of the string and a magnified sight as well, so you don't want to get any rain spots on those really. Keep everything nice and clear.
Perhaps that first arrow, the Winston from her, I mean, she's suggesting that's not the best shot, or that she did get affected?
She just didn't look too happy with it, did she? So I think I could see a bit of movement in that first shot, and just wasn't sort of solid and committing to it, so just out into the 9.
So still a 1-point lead for Jyoti Shreka Venom. Sophie Daudemont will therefore start at the beginning of the 3rd.
No.
Maybe that's an over adjustment now. Jyoti has quite followed through their shot. I think, you know, very much a surprise shot, and you sort of see her body move a little bit and react. That's just because she's hanging on to it, and then I think she's on a hinge, and that hinge just releases, and then her body just reacts.
3rd 29 in a row for Daudemont. Second 30 maximum for Jyoti Shreka Venom. And she's opened her lead up to 2 points with 2 ends to go. Just 6 arrows per archer to decide who's going to go into the gold medal match. Now, Nikki, she spotted the umbrellas have gone up out there. You can hear a little bit of pitter-patter of rain, but it doesn't look like it's quite over the range yet.
Yeah, see on the target face there's a couple of spots on the target and the on the arrows as well. So I don't, this is not going to be something that affects them. If we got really heavy rain, sometimes that can actually push the arrows down, but in these sort of conditions it's not going to be a problem. It might actually stop the wind a little bit. Often when it starts to rain, the wind calms down, but doesn't seem too bad out there at the moment. Just have a look at JT's arrows there. She's just checking her fletchings, but notice she's got a little nick out of one of them, and so if one of your arrows sort of goes through another one as it goes into the target, you can get a little tiny tear. That could be flappy. If you just cut it out a little bit, you can get away with that fletching without replacing it.
2-point lead for India in this semi-final. Venom leading 89 to 87. Dodemont to shoot first. Just pick up the little specks of rain on Dodemont's glasses on the peak of her cap.
No. No.
Fairly long hold. She wasn't happy with it. She knows what's going wrong.
No.
She didn't look happy with that one either, Venom.
No.
See that movement bit shaking. It's almost like an anchor point was just moving slightly.
10 will maintain the 2-point lead, and she puts it into the 10. So despite her lowest score so far, Venom has held on to a 2-point lead after 4 ends. So we enter the 5th and final end. It's certainly not over. Certainly from the last 2 ends, there are chances here for Dodemont.
Yeah, just 2 points in it, so that is possible to push to a tie, possibly come back from to take a win. So Dodemont's just got to draw on all her experience. She's a former Olympic medalist in the team round back in 2008. But Jyoti obviously on form here.
Second arrow went off and it looked like she was more shocked than she has been. Start of the 5th and final end. Dodemont trailing by 2. Has to put down some big scores to put Venom under pressure.
I think that was a look of, I was lucky there, I just caught the line.
When you look at the holes in that target for Venom, it is so impressive. Just 3 outside. Has that clipped the line? It has for a 30. Should actually say that. There's a big chance here for another perfect. 9 to do it, and it's right in the middle of the target. It is a 3rd perfect score, and a 147 plays 145 as Jyoti Sureka Venom makes more than 1 billion fans happy. Making it through this semi-final, a tough ask as well against Sophie Dodemont, and all the experience she comes to the shooting line with. But Jyoti Surekavenim is through the semi-final. She will shoot for gold against Ella Gibson of Great Britain a little bit later on. But straight back out onto the range very shortly, subject of course to a final confirmation of the scores, but there's nothing to suggest they'll change. But straight back out will come Sophie Dodemont for the bronze medal match against Maria Skolna. But what a moment potentially for Jyoti Surekavenim. Silver medalist at the Hyundai Archery World Cup final in 2021, a bronze in 2019, a win here, and she will qualify in 2022, with giving herself another chance to go for a Hyundai Archery World Cup final medal.
A recap of those archers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up after a short break will be the compound of women's.
Dodemont just never quite getting her confidence with it, so she can have her come back quite quickly. Jyoti just showing how good she is.
Well, big sport and in India, as we see a little bit of rain on the camera lens. Well, there are the umbrellas, and you can now actually see the rain falling here. Nikki's still not strong enough to cause too much of a problem to the flight and the arrows, but drying of equipment, all important in these conditions.
Yeah, it is. Archers will dry down their bows and arrows if it is raining that hard, for the water to sit on there, because it can just slow things down a little bit, can push the arrows down a touch on the target, but it doesn't seem too heavy at the moment.
Supporters in the crowd. A mixture of the athletes, the federations that are here, and of course the Parisians. Well, the heavens have just opened here as we take a look around the field of play. To guess who of international archers all wrapped up. I think it's just chilled off a little bit with the rain as well. I saw a few coats and jumpers on there as well. So we look around this fabulous listed building now. In fact, different parts of the building are listed from different eras. Built between 1361 and 1369, one of the preferred residents of the French kings in the 14th to the 16th century.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the coaches and judges to the field.
All of the fans in the crowd. Perhaps some new budding archers going to be inspired by this competition. On the left-hand side of the far ground is the tower, the fort that made this a very strong hold from the east side of Paris.
Please welcome the athletes to the
Straight back to the action though on the range. It's time for the compound women's bronze medal match. Individual podium spot up for grabs for the two losing semi-finalists. Time to go and meet them.
On target number 1, representing Luxembourg, Maria Skolna. On target number 2, représentant la France, Sophie Dodemont. The line judge for this match is Maki Nakama. We are shooting for a bronze medal, ladies and gentlemen. Une médaille de bronze à aller chercher. Et c'est la 5e fois que les deux athlètes s'affrontent. Les 4 précédentes
Well, the athletes and officials have been announced out onto the field of play here. Sophie Daudemont, slight favourite here, a 5-time stage winner, going up against Maria Skolna from Luxembourg. Hasn't taken a medal on a stage just yet. She is going to start first against Sophie Daudemont, who has all the support of the crowd here in Paris.
I'd say a very strong and in-form Skolna as well, so I think my money would be going over to Luxembourg right now.
Ooh, big call by Nikki Hunt. You heard it here first, but so she's here for the predictions. Looking good after 2 arrows.
10.
That is a great feeling when you've shot a shot you know wasn't quite right and it still just clips the 10.
10. 10.
What a start. Long hold from Daudemont.
No.
So that 9 for a 28, so a 2-point lead for Maria Skolna. Now, Daudemont, as you can see here, can look un petit grumpy, but we shouldn't confuse that with the fact that she's very concentrated, and every now and again she'll just break out in a smile. Is that part of her process to relax?
Yeah, it can be. I'm just keeping on a natural, even emotion, I guess, is probably the best way of putting it. And yeah, if you're up and down, then it can be unsettling. But if you can try and just keep a nice, even kind of, way of your emotions, you can much better stick to the process.
Well, obviously, as soon as we start talking about Daudemont, we've got pictures of Skolna, and she stayed in this fairly relaxed, emotional state. There's the smile from Daudemont. As we take a look back over that first end, you talked about the reaction from Skolna as she shot a second arrow just high into the 10, but 2 9s from Daudemont really opened things up. Skolna looking very focused. Perfect start for the Luxembourg archer. Daudemont trailing by 2 will shoot first in the second.
X10. X10.
Daudemont just settled down a bit now. The shots are looking better timed, not holding at full draw quite as long. Skolna does seem to be holding a little bit longer, but still making those good shots as well.
First perfect for Daudemont.
No.
Dropping a single point there. So the gap closes to 1 point. Skolna still leading. 59-58. Now you see them just drying off the various bits, even the coach Bouden there from Croatia, clearing off the site. Goes to retrieve the arrows that have been brought back.
Yeah, it's important that the coach, they've got a spotting scope there with them so that they can see what's going on. You know, we'll flick over onto the big screen and they'll get a quick glimpse of where their arrow went, but the coach behind, you know, have got that spotting scope so they can look at where the arrows are landing. Is there groups? Is there a theme to this where we can make slight adjustments on the scope, on the site, to bring those arrows in? So it's important that the coach can see.
Good close-up of the equipment there and the concentration on the face of Szkolna. So 1 point in it. Bronze medal at stake in the compound women's individual competition here in Paris. Stage 3 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. And the host nations, Sophie Daudemont, will shoot first in the third.
A little smile of another just snuck in.
Szkolna had made a correction. You can see that rain starting to fall a little bit heavier now. Made the correction, perhaps for the rain on the first shot, but another perfect from Daudemont. The pressure is really on here. Well, was that a rain-affected arrow? Switch the score around, and Daudemont now leads.
No, I don't think it was a rain-affected arrow because she automatically reacted with trying to lift that arm up. She knew it was a mistake. Whether those spots of rain in her scope were distracting her, don't know, but her coach obviously has just gone and cleaned that up. But yeah, I think you called it really. It's the pressure, isn't it? She had a great opportunity still leading this match, but I think that has switched things up.
Well, 6 arrows to go per archer. There's that one drifting into the red part of the target. I mean, there's still definitely time for Szkolna to get back into this, but the experience of Daudemont could play a massive part here.
Yeah, I mean, Sophie Daudemont, she's been around for such a long time. She was a recurve archer, switched to compound, and she's just been so successful. She's regularly up here in the top, 8 or 4. And she's going to definitely draw on that experience to come back in this match.
So the world number 14 from France has claimed the lead. A 2-point swing in the last end in favour of Daudemont. So Szkolna will shoot first in the fourth.
No. No.
Interesting. I think they both went left there as well, but I don't think there's much wind.
Well, another one where Szkolna pulled her bow arm up. Couldn't do enough with it though. And Daudemont striking again. Good recovery, but only a 27, her lowest score so far in a single end.
No.
And a 28 for Daudemont. Just slightly squeezed open the gap to 2 points. But the wind is in the sails of Sophie Daudemont here. Can Schkolner get back in it?
Yeah, I think Schkolner's just lost a bit of her confidence. A few flyers now. Having a good chat with the coach. See what improvements they can make. She's really got to come out here now. She's going to be shooting first, as she's the lowest scoring archer at this point. So she's got the chance to really try and put the pressure on Sophie, but she needs the 10s now.
Allez, Sophie Daudemont qualifiée en 6e position avec un 700 il y a quelques jours au Stade Charletti. Elle a ensuite battu Victoria Gardage, Song Bullock, Janine von Kradenburg, Sarah Priels en quart de finale. Et on entend les encouragements du public et les Sophie.
Yeah, it's starting to show some reactions as well. Schkolner. She's got to let this all go now to give herself a chance of a podium here. Daudemont, meanwhile, on target number 2, looking very relaxed indeed. Schkolner trailing by 2 to shoot first at the start of the 5th and final regulation end.
10.
Oh, whatever little demon she had in her head before, she's certainly come through the other side of it.
Well, needs Daudemont to drop points, but that looks like it's clipped the line. That one's clipped the line high. So 144 finish, a 9 to claim the bronze medal on home soil for Daudemont. And it's a 9 that she gets, and she has just done it here. Sophie Daudemont of France has to fight from behind to take this bronze medal, but she did it in style in the end and clung on. Sophie Daudemont from France collecting the bronze medal, and a warm hug of congratulations from, I'm sure, very disappointed Maria Schkolner, but it's yet another Hyundai Archery World Cup podium for Sophie Daudemont from the host nation.
Sophie Daudemont and the archer finishing 4th, Maria Schkolner.
Confirmation of the win there then for Sophie Daudemont of France in the bronze medal playoff. She will stand proud on the podium here in her capital city.
Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, the gold medal match in the compound of women's division.
We take a look back over that match. It really changed around in that 3rd end, Nikki.
Yeah, it's where Schkolner seemed to just break down a little bit, shot that first 8, which unsettled her, and then in the 4th she went on to shoot another 8 and a 9, and that was enough really for it to slip away and Daudemont to capitalise.
Yeah, the experience showing through in the end. A very professional and gracious handshake and hug from Schkolner, who clearly was a little disappointed, having done so well right at the beginning. Lost it in the middle and just could not recover. Well, the rain falling here, but everyone was prepared, came with the jackets and umbrellas.
Judges to the field of play.
We'll take a look at the draw for the competition again into the quarterfinals through the semis. Maria Shkolna and Sophie Dodemont went into the bronze medal playoff. Dodemont took that by 1 point. So it's time to find out who's going to take gold here in Paris. Out they come. 15 arrows to decide the third stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. Winner in the compound women's individual here in Paris.
On target number 1, representing Great Britain, Ella Gibson. On target number 2, representing India, Jyoti Surekavenam. The line judge for this matchup is Maki Nakano.
Big matchup here. 22-year-old Ella Gibson from Great Britain is the world number 6. She's already won a stage this season, so has qualified for the Hyundai Archery World Cup finals. But she's up against the 25-year-old world number 3 Indian Jyoti Surekavenam. She has claimed medals twice at the World Cup finals. A bronze in 2019, and a silver in 2020. This is a big matchup. Time for the gold medal match here in the compound women's individual tournament here in Paris. Ella Gibson of Great Britain to get us underway.
I have a feeling this is going to be a really tight match.
Just tickling the spider there, centre of the target. Bit of a longer hole, but still clinging on for a 10. I think you're right, Nikki. We're in for a treat here. Perfect start from Ella Gibson. Getting used to saying that. A little bit of movement there. Oh, now marked for a measure. Very close indeed, but we said the quality was going to be high. We predicted this was going to be a tough match between these two.
So this little puffer device here, she's just cleaning out the back of her peep sight. So you see that peep sight in the string. It can have a lens on it, or it can be an open hole that they look through. And using that little puffer device, Ella's covered hers with a black bit of plastic or rubber. They can just get rid of the raindrops.
What's your thought on that third arrow? As we get a closer look at it there, is that cutting the line? That's exceptionally close, isn't it?
Scored it up.
Yes, indeed. So a perfect for Surekavenam as well. 30 apiece. Crikey, if they keep going at this pace, we have got a serious match on our hands. Means a lot to India, and in particularly to Venom in this particular occasion, but the sport is popular in India and the athletes are well known. It comes with a little bit of pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and the other added bit of pressure here as well is Jyoti wants to win this so she can get her spot at the finals. Ella already booked her place, and if she wins again she'll open up a qualifying spot through the rankings, so that might help Jyoti if she were to lose.
Yeah, good points. She gets silver, but she wants to confirm her place here. All square, start of the second. Ella Gibson of Great Britain will shoot the first arrow. There's a hint of relentlessness from Ella Gibson here. Well, even the stadium announcer bellowing in appreciation for that grouping of 10s, but matched by Jyoti Sureka Venom. This is a pace and a half these two have set. That group from Ella Gibson, just that little bit better than, I mean, we're talking millimetres here, but that just that little bit better than Jyoti Sureka Venom.
They were, yeah. They were, I think they were all in the X. Certainly two of them were. One was very close, if not. So, at this point in the competition, that doesn't matter. That X ring in the middle is only really for qualification. So when we do a qualification round, 72 arrows. If you're tied on score, then you'd look at X's to see who would be ranked higher. But in this case, it doesn't matter. But I think it just shows a little bit of an advantage for Ella. She's shooting just a little bit more accurately, but only takes one mistake, doesn't it?
Well, no significant mistakes yet from either athlete. They've both shot perfect scores so far. 6 arrows each, all in the 10 or the X ring. 9 arrows to go. Can either of them stay perfect? So it will be Ella Gibson to shoot first in this third end.
Quality is just so good.
First drop point. Still, Gibson remains perfect on 90. Just clipping the 9 again, but the first 29 sees our first difference between these two athletes. Surely it can't come down to 1 arrow, can it? Well, I mean, of course it can, logically, but the quality of this match is very, very high. But can Gibson go on and shoot another 6 10s?
It's certainly possible. Let's see if she can do it. You know, she's pushing herself in every element. I think she came in here and shot 7-12 in the qualification round, which is a new European record. 1 point off Zara Lopez's world record as well. She is on fire at the moment. So let's see what she can do.
Well, we were talking about it before. We felt that Gibson could go through her semi-finals. I think, I'm not going to say you said, one of us said, it wasn't me, that the only one that could beat Gibson here today was likely to be Venom. She's dropped a point. It would be incredible if Gibson goes on to win with a 150.
It will, yeah. Just see if she can, you know, maintain her focus.
Venom shooting first for the first time in the match. She trails by a single point.
You know, they're not just 10s, they're X's as well. She's just so in the zone at the moment. Jyoti's body language just looks, you know, I know she feels like she's dropped that point, but she's got to keep herself level-headed here.
Just a phenomenon this season. Anna Gibson. Another drop point, and again the door opens. Is there a little twinge there just before she released? Would that made a difference?
It may have done, yeah.
Well, perfect is gone now, but a 1-1-9 plays a 1-1-8. The quality and the standard of this match are quite phenomenal.
Do you know, that shows me that, like, the way that Ella's come off the line there, she's shooting against herself. She's shooting for that, you know, the shots that she wants, you know, in order to try and get that 150, but she's still leading and she still came off, you know, dropped that point. I like that mentality because she's not shooting against the other archer really, she's just in her own zone, and that's what's really important.
Well, let's be honest, 2 drop points from Jyoti Shrekavenam. That's not bad at all. Let's go the other way. That's blooming good. Well, now the perfect score has gone for Gibson. Can she relax even more? Jyoti Shrekavenam starts the 5th and final end. She starts it with a 10, and you can see how much she's peppered the centre of the target. Hole there getting bigger and bigger.
You just saw on the release there, trying to lift the arm, the front arm up a bit. Probably the last thing she saw, just a touch low.
So we're all square with 2 arrows left. All of a sudden, Venom finds herself back in this, and finds herself right back in the middle of the target. Could it happen? 15 arrows. This is the 15th. And a perfect from Jyoti Shrekavenam might be what she needed. A 148 set. A 10 for Gibson to force the shoot off. She gets it. Of course she gets it. She had this match in the palm of her hands, but 2 9s in a row at the end of the 4th and the beginning of the 5th, followed by a perfect score from this young woman from India. Means we're all tied up at 148 apiece, just 2 drop points per archer. And Nikki, you get your favourite thing on Compound Saturday. It will be a shoot-off. Tell us what's happening right now.
Love a good shoot-off. So they are going to replace those target faces, the nice fresh ones. And it's 1 arrow. Closest to the middle is going to be the winner of this match.
Clean target face as Venom just has a look at her arrows, as does Gibson and Coach.
I mean, the mentality going into this now, like Ella's been in the lead all the way. She's looked relaxed. She smiled after that first 9. She came off the end there looking a bit stressed, right? Jyoti was a little bit behind, you know, probably not expecting perhaps another drop point. Probably came off the line a little bit happier. So the swing is to Jyoti, but you've got to push your reset button here. You've got to just forget everything that's happened. It is 0-0 again. Ella's doing some self-talk, getting herself in the right place, that visualization, feeling that good shot. Got to make the best shot you can.
It's almost like she's trying to talk herself out of thinking about it as well, thinking about the fact that, oh, you know, I had that really. I could have just finished that one off there.
All she'll be thinking about now is how nice those shots feel, like her good shots. Just going through your brain, what it feels like to make a great shot and it just breaking where you want it to. That is all that should be in her mind, I'm sure it is. Same with Jyoti.
So all square after the regulation 5 ends, 15 arrows, and Gibson and Venom cannot be separated, so we go to a 1 arrow shoot off. It will be Ella Gibson from Great Britain, already a stage winner this season, to shoot first, basically score first, and if they're tied, closest to the centre of the target.
Pretty quick shot on that X-ring. Great shot, but there's still room.
Ooh, what a shoot-off that was. 2 10s, but one is an X, and Ella Gibson of Great Britain takes her second stage win of the season. It was the tightest of matches, handshakes all around, but having only competed in 2 of the stages of 3 this season, it's a 100% win on the circuit for Ella Gibson of Great Britain. What a match we've just been treated to. What a semi-final pairing, followed by the bronze home nation medal there. And now this, Ella Gibson taking a second stage win, opening up a place in the rankings as Gibson calls Jyoti Sureka-Venom back to the middle of the range for a joint photograph. Nikki, I mean, great performance from the pair of them.
Yeah, it really was. Both of them shot exceptionally well. Jyoti, you know, we thought after her first 9, we thought maybe she wouldn't have the chance to come back. Then Ella drops 2 9s in a row to force that shoot off in the end with Jyoti. Perfect 30, and wow, what a shoot off it was. An X to a 10. Fantastic, Ella.
Well, we take a look back over the match, Nikki, and it was a stunning start from Ella Gibson. She shot 14 arrows in a row. No, sorry, 11 arrows in a row, all in the middle of the target before dropping her very first points at the end of the ninth. End of the 4th. Going into the 5th, she also dropped a point. Those 2 9s opening the door for Venom.
Yeah, and Venom took advantage of that, didn't she? She forced that shoot off. A 1-4-8, just both of them dropping just those 2 points. Best shooting we've seen through today with the women's compound.
Yeah, great performance from the pair of them. But in the end, Gibson wins it on a shoot off. Let's hear what she has to say.
I have no words. I mean, tell me how you feel right now.
Amazing, relieved, elated. That was so hard and so amazing, and I really enjoyed it.
So you started off that match incredibly strong. You had, I've lost count of how many arrows in a row you had it in the 10. You almost gave her a chance in the end there. Tell me about the match.
Yeah, it was hard, it was nervy. I started off, and for once I wasn't actually nervous. I was really enjoying the match. You know, I had 1 arrow that I heard she shot 1 in the 9, and obviously my brain was like, now's the time, we can make up a point. And I shot a 9, so that was annoying. But, you know, I was just the whole time just saying, shooting 10s is easy. We can do this all day long. We're just enjoying this, you know. It's not hard. Let's not make it any harder than it needs to be and just do easy shots. And it worked.
Antalya and now Paris, you have 2 stage wins. What a season.
Yeah, it feels amazing. I mean, I always make goals for the year in terms of how I want to finish at each event and what my world ranking was meant to be. And gold at a World Cup was not actually even in this year. So for 2, I'm pretty happy with how the season's going.
Are you the best compound woman in the world right now?
I don't think so. I think that's a hard one to answer. I don't think there's one best person. It just depends if you're the best that day.
Ella, I know it's a special time. There's someone special at home who has a birthday coming up. Do you want to say hello?
Oh, that would be hi to my brother. His birthday's coming up in July, and I'm still working on his present at the moment while I'm out here.
Congratulations, Ella.
Thank you.
Date for everyone's diary. Ella Gibson's brother's birthday, sometime in July. Interesting question there about are you the best compound archer in the world? I think she was a bit, oh, hold on a minute, how am I supposed to answer that one? I think she did well actually answering it.
Yeah, great answer, because, you know, I guess people say you're only as good as your last performance, and Ella is right up there right now. She only attended 2 stages, she's won both of them. I would say she's definitely up there, but it's going to be that consistency now. I mean, you know, we've got to look back to Sara Lopez. She's been up there. She's won 6 finals, but not so good this year. She hasn't attended Paris because she's elsewhere at another event. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think Colombia, I think Ella's going to Colombia, so hopefully we'll, you know, see what happens there.
Yeah, consistency is an interesting thing you talk about, but it's also interesting that she said that she set goals for the season, and a gold was not on the target this season.
Yeah, do you know, it's a nice point actually about don't cap your goals either. Like, open your goals out and see what you can achieve. Don't prevent yourself from reaching as high as you can.
Well, she's certainly at the top of the game right at this very moment. Time now for the compound women's victory ceremony here at Hyundai Archery World Cup Stage 3 in the French capital of Paris, the host nation for the next Summer Olympic and Paralympic Games. Looks like Tom Deland, Secretary General of World Archery, who's been a busy man, will be presenting the medals here for this individual competition.
Bronze medal. Representing France, Sophie Dodemont.
Well, a big smile there from Sophie Dodemont, the host nation represented on the compound women's podium. Dodemont, having lost out to Venom by 2 points in the semi-final, went on to beat the other losing semi-finalist, Maria Schallner of Luxembourg, 145-144 to collect her medal.
Silver medal.
Oh, she shot so great in the final. A 148 from 150 for Jyoti Sureka Venom. She forced the shoot-off with a perfect score in the final end, but was on a measure pushed into the silver medal position. Good ranking points, especially given we now have a two-stage winner here.
Representing Great Britain.
It's 2 out of 2 for Ella Gibson from Great Britain. She won the first stage, and now she has won the third stage. She was going to the Hyundai Archery World Cup finals at the end of the season anyway, and now by winning this second stage has opened up another ranking slot for another athlete. And look at what it means to her. Time to celebrate with her national anthem
of Great Britain. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to our athletes.
Well, there we have it, confirmation of the medalist here. A two-time stage winner, Ella Gibson from Great Britain, standing on top of the podium. Was forced to win through a shoot-off here in Paris from Jyoti Sureka Venom of India, and France's Sophie Dodemont in the bronze medal position. The World Cup rankings after that, well, Ella Gibson right up the top as a stage winner, along with Korea's Kim Yoon-hee. Lizelle Yatma leading the ranking positions from Yesim Boston and Alejandra Usqueno. Those are, of course, the World Cup rankings. We take a look back over highlights of that brilliant session of compound women's archery. The rain came down a little bit. France delighted by the bronze medal win for Sophie Dodemont, but what a final, Nikki, what a final.
Yeah, it really was. Both archers only dropping 2 points, pushing it to that shoot-off. Both of them then shooting a 10, but Ella with the X, the closest arrow to the middle, taking her second gold medal on this circuit.
Well, what support she got from her teammates in the crowd. It was a great win, entertaining for everyone, because it had to go to a single arrow shoot-off. And even the French crowd here, delighted with the entertainment they've just seen. But it's not over yet, folks. The men's competition still to be concluded. Let's go and meet the final four.
Nicolas Girard, France. Braden Galantine, USA. Anders Høgstad, Norway.
Jan Pizarro, Puerto Rico.
Well, there they are, the final four. The wind's still playing havoc out here. It's not strong, but it's very unpredictable. Nicolas Girard coming through the top will get the backing of the home crowd. Goes up against Braden Galantine in the first semi-final. Down the bottom of the draw, Jean Pizarro from Puerto Rico is up against Anders Faugstad from Norway. Coach is already out. Time for semi-final number one of the compound men's individual. It's time to go down for the athlete introductions.
On target number one, représentant la France, Nicolas Girard. On target number two, representing the United States of America, Braden Galantine. The line judge for this match is Haya Warnondre.
So athletes introduced. The French will be delighted to see Nicolas Girard, the 22-year-old world number 81. The 2022 Indoor Series champion, but no individual stage medals yet on the circuit. Goes up against the three-time Hyundai Archery final champion, Braden Galantine, the world number 10 from the USA. Galantine to get semi-final number one of the men's compound individual underway.
No. 10.
Yep.
10.
Trademark, yep, from Braden Galantine.
10.
Yep.
X10.
Well, no drop points from Girard. High five from his coach.
Nicolas Girard, cible numéro 1, qualifié en 16e il y a quelques jours au stade Charletti avec 705. Et qui a réussi à battre en 32e de finale chez Signou avant de battre Omini Yakma, les en 16e de finale. Mesdames et messieurs, Nicolas Girard.
Well, what a start there. 29 plays at 30 here. And Galantine looking very, very focused.
Yeah, he's got the normal American coach behind him, Chris Webster. Hear the yep, you know, that we hear behind Brady and the rest of the USA team. Great positive reinforcement. You shot a 10 and you got that lovely feeling on the shot, and your coach behind you shouts, yep, just what you need.
Trademark for the US team, but it's the Frenchman leading here. Got off to a flyer here. Again, is it about the experience of shooting earlier in the day in the team competition for Girard?
I think that does help for sure. He's been out here already. He knows what the stadium looks like, feels like, what the conditions might be. So yeah, I think it's definitely an advantage.
Yeah, and about how he handles the pressure that potentially comes with being on home soil with the crowd behind you. Started well, the Frenchman, so Braden Galantine from the USA Trailing by 1, will shoot first in the second.
Yep, there it is.
So what's interesting about Braden's shot then is the last time we saw him last year, I'm sure in Guatemala, he was using that little pinky. He was just putting the pinky on the back of the release aid and helping spin around the release aid to make the shot go, and he's not doing that now, so a little change in his technique perhaps.
A little bit more education on archery technical terms, the pinky. Known as the little finger.
Yep.
Another 29 for the American. Well, another perfect there from Nicolas Girard. Has not dropped a point yet.
Is the pinky not an internationally known thing?
I don't think they call it a pinky in Korea.
No, probably not. But if you think of us British drinking our tea with our pinky outstretched, that's your little index finger.
You just carry on digging that hole over there, Nicky Hunt. Gerard, though, he is climbing a mountain right here. Hasn't dropped a point yet against Braden Galantine. You see, yes, the technique has potentially changed. There's just this little finger of Braden Galantine.
D'accord. Et est-ce qu'on a des gens qui soutiennent l'archer français Nicolas Girard?
Almost looks painful, doesn't it, for him to see that.
And it must be difficult if you make a small change like that in your technique. It must take a long time to change.
Yeah, well, that was Guatemala, wasn't it, last year? I think the first World Cup stage, and we're a good, what, 13, 14 months down the line. So, and here he is. Perhaps it's taken that long to make that change.
Strong shot.
Galantine trailing will shoot first in the third end here.
Yep, there it is. Another one. Let's go, Braden. Good, strong shot.
Encouragement from the coach there for Galantine.
Yep, that's a good one. Give me one more.
Big follow through. I think he thought that was just going to go out to the right there. Just swung his bow arm to keep it in.
Yep, there it is.
Galantine's first perfect. Breathing room though for Girard. He doesn't need it. No points dropped so far in this men's semi-final. Girard of France leading by 90 points to 88 over Braden Galantine of the USA. Fabulous performance from the Frenchman so far. Conditions look like they may have just slightly eased up. The rain appears to have stopped falling. And we get a good look at the veins here that you were talking about earlier on, Nikki.
Yep, quite unusual to have 4 veins on the back of your arrow. Most archers have 3, but it's obviously working for Girard. It's all about the stability of the arrow, so we put the veins on to balance the arrows. It's coming out, it kind of snakes up and down as it comes out of the compound. It just makes the flight a bit more controlled.
More veins, more drag?
Yeah, I would think so. So possibly losing a bit of speed, but we're shooting over 50 meters. So these compound bows really, really fast. You can see the little cams, top and bottom pulleys. These guys can shoot up to 60 pounds. I'd imagine these guys are both close to that. So the arrow speed is around 300 feet per second.
Well, time for the fourth and penultimate end here in this semi-final between Galantine and Girard. The American shooting first, trailing by 2.
Yep.
Fifth 10 in a row. That's the 10th. 100% record so far on 100 points. Nicolas Girard.
Yep. Right there with it. One more.
He uses a little bit more time than other archers, doesn't he, at full draw?
Yeah, he just stays on it, keeps pulling. The follow through looks really nice.
Yep.
2 perfects in a row for Galantine. Definitely found the middle of the target. But remaining perfect, Nicolas Girard, 120 plays 118. But will the pressure of 2 30s from Galantine get to Nicolas Girard?
That's the question, right? It's certainly going to increase the pressure. He knows that Braden shoots well. He knows how good Braden is. So it's up to him just to stick to himself, stick to the process, keep making these good shots. Because, yeah, just a couple of 9s and we're all square. So, you know, if Braden did shoot perfect again, so you can't relax at this point. Just got to stick to the plan.
It seems to be a man that is not thinking the slightest about retirement, and perhaps the news about World Archery applying for compound to be included in the Los Angeles Olympics. So on home soil for Galantine will keep him going just that little bit longer.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, he's been around a long time now. So many medals in the circuit. It's unbelievable. I don't know what he could possibly do with them. I think he's got around 60-odd, 65 medals.
Well, it seems to be there's more in the bag for this man. He's behind here. Girard, having not dropped a point, seems to be looking upon it philosophically.
Let's go, Braden.
Hesitates on the line, waiting for the buzzer. Braden Galantine, 118. Girard, 120. Galantine to shoot first in the final end of this semi-final.
Yep.
Looks much more in the groove now, much more settled. Pressure's on this guy.
Doesn't look too troubled himself, though. Another drop point from Galantine. Door opened a little wider for the Frenchman. Oh my goodness me, the pressure will be on this last shot.
Yep.
So gets a 29 to finish off for a 147, but the 150 is on here. Can the Frenchman do it in Paris? Oh, yes, he can. What a performance from Nicolas Girard. A 150, a perfect score from the Frenchman here in his capital city. Oh, yes, you just did it, Nicolas Girard. He's through to the final, but what a way to do it. How many of those do you get a season, do you reckon, on the podium range?
On the podium range, not that many. They will be doing it in practice day in, day out, I think, and in local competitions, I think there'll be some as well, but to do it under this pressure, you know, this is all about fighting for your spot for that final, and the final is just amazing. Everyone wants to be there, best archers in the world, so he didn't look like he was thinking about that at all, just shot those shots. Perfect score.
Brilliant performance from Nicolas Girard. We just take a look back over that fairly sort of clean in terms of his emotion, showing almost nothing throughout. In fact, I'd have to say probably showing nothing throughout. A bit of a philosophical look from Galantine every now and again, just thinking, well, I've only dropped a couple of points here, let's face it. He dropped 3 points over 15 hours, and he just said, well, hats off to you, sir.
Yeah, he looked a bit glum, didn't he, at the end? And at this level and these conditions, dropping 3 points is just not good enough. And he knows that, you know, he's not, you know, he's been here and he knows what he has to do. But how do you beat a 150? You've got to match it and push it to the shoot-off. But gosh, it's hard.
Brilliant performance from Nicolas Girard, and you have to say, he's the man to beat here in Paris.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the coaches.
It's time to find out who he's going to face in that gold medal match, and who's going to face Galantine in the bronze. The coaches are coming out onto the field of play. Oh, this semi-final has a lot to live up to here in Paris.
And now, please welcome the athletes to the field of play.
Well, we've got a rising star, the 2019 World Youth Champion, up against the 2009 World Youth Silver Medalist. Semi-final number 2 of the compound men's individual here in Paris.
On target number 1, representing Puerto Rico, Jean Pizarro. On target number 2, representing Norway, Anders Faugstad. The line judge for this match is Nakano Maki.
So here we go, semi-final number 2 on target 1, Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico, athlete coach, his federation's president, I understand, 29 years old, the world number 11. No stage medals for Pizarro. Anders Faugstad from Norway is 22 years old and the world number 21. He also has no stage medals, but won the silver in 2018 at the European Championships. Both of them with 2 chances to get stage medals here. The winner will confirm it, and it's Faugstad of Norway to shoot first.
10, 10.
Yeah, not uncommon for that first arrow to go left. I wonder if that's the difference between the practice range, which is over to their right against that massive castle wall, and now they're a little bit more open. We know the wind has been going right to left in this stadium.
Overcorrection?
Yeah, possibly. Hear the noise as they crunched into the target.
Well, starting with arrows flying around the target here, a 3-point deficit already for Pizarro. And to beat Kim Jong-ho and Abhishek Verma en route to this semi-final, whereas Faugstad, well, he took out Fullerton in the last round, a Yang of Korea in the quarterfinals. Sorry, the third round, I should say.
Just looking at the anchor points, these different archers where they pull the string into their chin. You want the string or the compound to be on the tip of your nose, corner of your mouth, and then solid anchor point on the chin as well. Fingers, so your knuckles of your fingers then into your jaw.
Well, Pizarro flying them all round the tan. Pizarro all round the 9 in the previous end. Shoots first and finds the middle of the target. That will give him some comfort. He's got a 3-point deficit to recover already. Morten Bo there counting down Faugstad. He was running out of time there. The coach for Norway. Bad man to have in the camp for Faugstad, former world champion. Well, that's a good recovery from a 27 in the first to a perfect in the second. It's going to close the gap by at least 1. That 2, because that's another 9. So 28 for Faugstad. And just that little bit of pressure from Pizarro puts him right back in the match after 2.
Yeah, you can see him standing there with his coach Morten Bo, himself a great archer, world medalist, been around a long time. All that experience in your coach's box is going to help.
Sound a little obvious, but it's a good name for an archer, isn't it, Bo? 4 career medals at World Championships, including a gold in 2001 in the team event in Beijing, silver in the individual, and in Madrid in 2005, along with a silver in the team event that year. You got the individual bronze medal in Beijing as well. So very experienced Morten Bo in the camp for Anders Faugstad. Faugstad has had his lead cut by 2/3, but we're going into the third end. Pizarro still trailing by 1.
Little movement of that front arm. I think he thought that was going to go off, but straight in the 10 again. Oh. Love that crunch. That's why you've got to check your arrows.
Another perfect from Pizarro. Pressure building here.
He had to reset. Look, he's shaking so much that he can't keep the arrow on the rest. He's only got 20 seconds to make this shot.
Oh, where's this gone? It's gone into the centre as well. It looked like he was continuing to draw as he was trying to reset the arrow.
Well, he didn't have any time, so he just had to get on with it. The problem is, if your arrows are a little bit short, some archers can hold onto the front of the bow and flick the arrow with their first finger back onto the arrow rest. But if your arrow's a little bit short, sometimes you don't have that option. But he had to start drawing, he had to start hurrying up because he was going to get timed out otherwise.
Wow. Well, to then recover from that to shoot a 10, come through a very nervy moment there. I wonder how he's handling that.
Yeah, he did really well, didn't he? Just checking over his arrows. We did hear some crunching as they were going down into the target, even from that last end as well. So really important to check those knocks for any damage. Back of the arrow.
We get some of the reactions from the archers as they release their arrows.
think that was a bit of telling off to himself just there, wasn't it?
I think it was, but he got away with it. I mean, he really got away with it in a big way. It's time now for the fourth end here. Pizarro still trailing.
This
guy walked onto the line with his hand still on his hip, so I think he was still in the last end. He's got to put that out of his mind. Nodding as if he deserved it, or knowingly out in the 9.
Well, still has a 1-point lead, Falkstadt, but this could be a couple of arrows that form a turning point in the match. Pizarro puts it into the 10 for a 29 for his first drop point for 3 ends. Tend to maintain the lead. It's another 9. So we are all square going into the final end here, and all of a sudden it looks like the momentum has shifted over to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, for me, Anders just hasn't got over the stress of the end before. He's still moving slowly and his brain seems to be somewhere else. He's got to just cut that out. That's gone now. Get back into it. He didn't have a bad group there. Look at it. It's just a little bit high right. Just needs to move that back down in there. There's nothing major going wrong. Body language says a lot.
Allez, l'occasion pour nous, mesdames et messieurs, ici au château de Vincennes, de montrer notre appréciation pour le Norvégien Anders Falkstadt.
Well, you look at these archers at full draw, you can see how much pressure they've been under. It's a long week, isn't it, having to shoot your qualification arrows, 72 of those, and then come through the elimination stages. Both of them having shot 4 matches to get to this point, having shot their qualification. Plus any team involvement, of course. But all square after 4 ends. Falkstadt will shoot first in the final end. Makes a little adjustment. Puerto Rico now with Pizarro has a big opportunity. And for the first time in the match, Puerto Rican has the lead. Well, clung on to that one for a long time. It sounded like someone dropped something on or near the shooting line. May have been a distraction.
Oh, just watching that arrow come off the rest again, you can see the nerves. Got it moving.
So a huge opportunity here. 8 to draw a level for Pizarro. Anything more and he's in the gold medal match. Brilliant stuff from Jean Pizarro. A 1:45 to win this, and it just goes to show it ain't over until it's over. The Puerto Rican has turned this one around. They're still looking down the range here. Morten Boe perhaps thinks there's an opportunity here for a measure to improve things. I'm not sure Anders Falkstadt thinks so. Oh, it's so close. It's so close. Not quite sure it's cutting the line, but we cannot tell from this angle, and that's where the magnifying glass comes out. This is an important measure. We're going to see another shoot-off here. It's gone up! It's gone up! That arrow has been marked up for Anders Faugstad. Well, still, I say, it shows it ain't over till it's over. The Puerto Rican was out of this, and I'm not sure Faugstad can believe this. It looks like one of the arrows has been marked up, and it is all square. 145 plays 145, and we are going to get treated to another shoot-off here in Paris, and I'm not sure anyone believed it, including me. We thought that was clearly out, but it just goes to show you need to do the measure right next to the arrow.
Yeah, this is a really tough one because Pizarro really thought, I think, that he'd won, and when you get that emotion of, you know, you can just relax a little bit and through, and all of a sudden we're back into the shoot-off. So 1 arrow shoot-off, they're going to change the target faces. It's going to be closest to the middle to win, and this is all about getting that spot into the gold medal match to try and get your spot for the finals. Huge.
Yeah, a massive for the winner in the fact that neither of these two have won a stage medal between them. So the athletes wait on as we watch the targets being changed. But I think it's still, yes, I get the emotion of thinking that you've won, but Pizarro was out of this. Anders Faugstad had this one in the bag. And
yeah, Pizarro, we thought Pizarro had won and gone through.
But earlier on, if you look at the scores earlier on, it was only when we got into the 4th end that Pizarro got back into it to draw level on 116.
Yeah, he had been trailing, hadn't he, all the way through.
And so he's fought his way back into it. And in the end, yes, he thought he'd won it in the final end. But still, you've got to go back to that 4th end and go, well, that's where it turned around on that very last arrow of the 4th end. Well, what a moment here for both of these guys. Emotions running high on both sides of the shooting line. 1 arrow to decide who goes into the gold medal match against Nicolas Girard of France. The loser will get a chance to go for the podium here against Braden Gelantine in the bronze medal playoff. But 1 arrow to decide the winner of the second compound men's individual semi-final. Faugstad will shoot first.
Oh, what a shot inside the X-ring.
There's space to the middle, not very much. Well, he holds on for a long time. That's hit the 10, but it's higher and further away from the center. And look at the relief on Anders Faugstad's face there. He can't believe he got into the shoot-off, but he has won it, and he will face he will face Nicolas Girard for gold. Jean Pizarro's got very little time to recover. He's going to face Braden Gelantine for bronze very shortly. What a match! Well, I don't know about these two, Nicky, but my heart's all aflutter. I'm quite nervous about what's going to happen next. You think first about Pizarro coming up against Gelantine. That's going to be a big ask. How the heck is he going to recover?
Yeah, it will be a big ask, but again, it's all about, you know, drawing the line under the sand. You can't change anything here now. You've got to put that out of your head. It is hard, but he's got to do his best to come back. He's still got a chance to get his feet on the podium, so definitely worth it. And you know, Braden's a fantastic competitor. You've got to put that out of your mind as well. It's just you and the targets, you and 50 meters away. That's all that matters.
Oh, you make it sound so easy. We take a look back over this match. You look at Pizarro here. I mean, I just don't think he believed he could get back into this, but he clung on, fought his way through, and it was that turning point in the 4th that made all the difference to this match. Faugstad getting off to a perfect start, and it was far from perfect for Pizarro. He hit 3 9s in the first and just had to laugh it off. But in the end, a measured 9 marked up to a 10 forced the shoot-off from Falkstadt with one arrow. Well, he hit the X, and he's through to the gold medal match. Pizarro will be back very shortly to shoot for bronze against the USA's Braden Gelantine, and all America's affair for bronze. Well, looking on, the crowd have been entertained today on Compound Saturday. 2 more matches to go. The individual bronze and gold in the men's compound competition here in the Chateau de Vincent. Let's take a look at how we got to this stage. Losing semi-finalists. Braden Gelantine at the top of the order, losing out to Gerard, who shot a perfect score. He goes up against Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico for bronze. That's up first, and then we've got the gold medal match. Girard against Falkstadt, France versus Norway.
And now, please welcome the athletes to the field of play for the compound men's bronze medal match.
Well, this chateau is often used as a sanctuary in times of trouble. Is it going to be a sanctuary for Puerto Rico's Jean Pizarro? Forced to shoot off in the semi-finals, but he lost out in the end. This is the compound men's bronze medal match. Pizarro, Puerto Rico, goes up against Braden Gelantine of the USA.
On target number 2, representing Puerto Rico, Jean Pizarro. The line judge for this match is Taya Wanalongli. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We are shooting
Well,
for a
Gelantine's a 3-time Hyundai Archery World Cup final champion. He's got cabinet loads of medals, stage medals, and of course those 3 titles. He's going up against a man who has never won a stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup circuit. Jean Pizarro of Puerto Rico nearly pulled it off in the semi-finals. Hasn't had much time to recover. Goes up against this very, very talented and experienced American. Braden Gelantine will get the bronze medal match underway.
No.
Tiny little wobble before they went off, but just hitting the edge of the 10.
There it is.
XT.
One more. Yep.
XT.
Oh, what a start from Pizarro. A perfect 30. He's managed to settle his nerves after that very, very tense semi-final. Gelantine just dropping that first arrow, and you say that quite often happens.
Yeah, he's only just out. Braden's very expressive, isn't he, when he has a bad arrow particularly. So he probably felt he was a little bit unlucky with that, but that's what it is, so got to put it behind him.
You can just see that first arrow closest to us, low outside the 10.
Good squint at that one, just out.
Pizarro, on the other hand, shooting 3 10s. Settled his nerves, but hasn't had a huge amount of time to recover, not only physically but also mentally from that grueling semi-final. Straight back out. Luck of the draw, I suppose, whether you shoot first or second.
Highest rank will choose. Yeah.
Start of the second end. Pizarro leading, but just by 1 point.
Yep.
It's this.
Yep.
It's this.
He's found the middle of the target. How close those are to the spider.
It's this.
If anything, those two are better.
Yep.
Well, all of a sudden, the quality has just gone through the roof. First drop point for Pizarro, but guess what? That means we're all square in our overall score. And you look at what Pizarro has done to get to this point, beat Stewart of Luxembourg, Kim Jong-ho in the second round of Korea on a shoot-off, 10 versus X, Rodriguez of Ecuador, and then Abhishek Verma from India before losing out to Anders Faugstad in that thriller of a second semi-final. I'm not sure Gelantine will be a popular podium athlete here. He started after the qualification round by knocking out Gontier, Adrien Gontier of France, and then followed that up with a win over Quentin Barra of France before a shoot-off against Wiener of Austria, and then a win over Choi. Maybe the French crowd will be behind the Puerto Rican.
Yeah, it's unusual to get two people of the same country in a row. It's just how it falls after qualification.
So all square after 2 ends of 5. So we start the third. Did look like Galantine had dialed right in on the middle in that second end. Can he continue that rich vein of form?
Yep.
This.
Okay, let's go. Good strong shot.
In terms of the wind, the conditions are looking probably the best we've seen it. We looked down range earlier.
Yep.
Nothing at all on the flags down there.
Yep.
3 touching the X ring. Well, we've just ramped up again. There's nothing to separate these two. It's been a little bit up and down for Pizarro. The Galantine's got better in the second and third ends. He's really dialed in, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, they've both only dropped that 1 point. Pizarro dropping his in the second end, Braden dropping one at the beginning. So they're both, both just shot 30, both on a good journey at the moment, aren't they? So if they keep going like this, it's going to be really tight.
Well, you can't separate them at the moment, and they've only got 6 arrows left to go here. I might say the conditions favourable now, more favourable than perhaps they've been. Well, maybe right at the beginning of the day they were okay, but I think the nerves were probably at their highest right then. Now everyone's settled in. This is the penultimate match. No rain, good light, not too cool, not too hot.
Yeah, the wind conditions seem to be a bit better. The flags down the range don't seem to be moving at all. Whether there's a tiny spots of rain there. We had a bit of rain, sometimes that settled the wind, it seems to have done, so really good conditions.
Goldilocks conditions, if you like, for archery. End number 4, Galantine. Will start us off all square, 89 apiece.
Yep. Give me another one.
This is all about holding your nerve now, and is Braden's experience going to help him out under the pressure?
Yep. One more. Give me one more.
Didn't look happy with the shot though.
Let's go.
Oh, that's close. Stays just about clinging on to the 10 ring.
Yep.
Oh, he is on fire right now. Pressure all on Pizarro yet again. Has to shoot a 10 to stay level on score. It was drifting that way, wasn't it? It was going up and out that way. 118 plays 119 as we go into the last.
Yeah, I think he knew that shot just wasn't quite right.
The one before was a bit of an indicator that it was going in that direction.
Yeah, but I don't think that's because of conditions. I think that's more because of him internally and stress and pressure. So you can't really adjust for that. You've just got to try and make your shot as normal as possible.
Well, having been through a grueling semi-final and losing out through a shoot-off, finds himself almost in a reverse position here. He fought back with the last arrow of the 4th Pizarro to get himself back on level terms. Here he's dropped a point to fall 1 point behind. Galantine, well, hasn't missed the 10 since his 2nd arrow. These signs looking good for Braden Galantine. But as we said before, it ain't over until it's over. Pizarro's got to cling on to that. He's going to shoot first in the 5th and final end. Let's see if he can put down big scores to put Braden Galantine under some pressure.
Okay, Braden.
It's another one of those, isn't it? Too tight to call that here. It'll go for a measure, I'm sure.
Yep.
Galantine on the edge, but still. Number 12 of his 10s in a row.
Let's go, Braden.
Oh, has he gone the other way? That looks like it's a bit more clearly a 9.
Yep. Give me one more.
This is where I'm saying that experience just shining through, holding your nerve in the last.
Well, he's been pretty consistent with when he releases. Finishes with a 10 and a 146. We might have to call that a 147, so a 9 is enough, but hitting the spider is even better. 14 out of 15 tens, 4 perfects in a row. A 149 is a superb score on any day of the week, and Braden Gelantine has taken yet another Hyundai Archery World Cup stage medal. It's bronze here in Paris for the American. Well, what a superb match in the end, especially if Braden Gelantine. It was a great start this time from Pizarro. Very different to his semi-finals, but Gelantine, having shot a 9 first arrow, didn't miss the middle of the target. That's a tough ask to beat that one.
Yeah, it really is. Like I said before, it's just shown Braden's experience that he just held on all the way. He knew he was under pressure. He knew he couldn't afford to drop, and yeah, brilliant shoot from him. This is why he's got, I don't know what it is, 65 plus medals on this in this circuit.
Yeah, it's quite phenomenal from the American. Adding another one. I'm wondering if he's got to put a little bit of extra support on his shelves on his trophy cabinet to carry all that weight. And the medals here are absolutely spectacular. Lovely medals to win. Take a look back over the match, and Pizarro starts things off with a perfect 30. Gelantine dropping 1 point in the first end, but he didn't look back after that, hitting the middle time and time again. 14 tens in a row after that first 9 from Braden Gelantine, and it was enough to take him onto the podium here in Paris for yet another medal. It's bronze for Braden Gelantine. Well, one more to go here. The east side of Paris, the Chateau de Vincent, a listed building, protected. That tower on the far left, part of the fortifications which made this the home of the royal family here in France. So we're down to the gold medal match. Gelantine has taken bronze. Girard at the top of the order came through Gelantine in the semi-finals with a perfect score. He takes on Anders Faugstad, who came through a shoot-off semi-final over Pizarro. Gelantine's got the bronze. Who's going to get gold and silver? Shall we go and find out?
And now, please welcome the athletes to the field of play.
Time for gold here in Paris on stage 3 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. Time for the last introductions of the athletes here on Compound Saturday.
On target number 1, représentant la France, Nicolas Girard. On target number 2, representing Norway, Anders Faugstad. The line judge for this match is Maki Naka.
Well, Anders Faugstad of Norway has no stage medals on the Hyundai Archery World Cup circuit. Nicolas Girard, he's got no individual stage medals, but he won a team bronze last year on the circuit. So whichever way you look at it, we're going to have a new individual champion here in Paris. And with a 150 in the semi-finals for Girard, he will be coming into this supremely confident. Faugstad had to fight hard through a shoot-off, and it will be the Norwegian to get this gold medal match underway. Confidently called a 10 in venue. Marked as a 9 on the scoreboard. We'll have to go and see that one again, I think. But that is the kind of start that will keep that buoyant Frenchman high in confidence. offering the 10 line here. I'd say that one was a little bit more sure to have cut it. Down to 3 seconds. Provisionally a 29 for Faugstadt. Definite perfect for Girard. So 30 for the Frenchman. Nicky? 29, 28, 30? How many points is the Norwegian going to get here?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think probably, I don't know, it could be 29, it could be lucky and squeeze into the 30. But he definitely doesn't look as confident as Girard. You know, the Frenchman is absolutely killing this, isn't he? Like you said, he shot that 150 in the semi-final, and he just looks unstoppable.
Doing it at home. The winner, of course, qualifies directly through to the Hyundai Archery World Cup final, and well, neither of these two have won a stage ever before, let alone this year. So one is going down. Well, that looks like it's going to be a 29. We just got to wait for that. I'm not sure we got there quick enough to see whether the second one went down or not.
C'est confirmé, c'est bel et bien un... Attendez, c'est bel et bien un 9.
So Van Nerf, it sounds like that is a 29 to me. It's a long time since I did French 101 back at school. Faugstadt confirmed with a 29 and Girard confirmed with a 30. So Faugstadt will shoot again at the start of the second. Well, if Girard does what he did in the semi-finals, this is already over. Well, it can be a little bit short of the 29 there for Faugstadt on a 58 now. Surely he can't keep hitting. Well, it's going to be a surprise when 4-feather Girard misses the centre of the target.
Yeah, he's shooting these unusual veins. Normally see all archers shoot with 3, but Girard has decided to have 4 on the back of his arrows, so quite interesting, quite different. He's just checking them through here. 2 of each colour, different formation from normal. Just helped with the flight of the arrow, the stability of the arrow in the air.
Yeah, well, his quarter-final match up against Domagoy Buden, he won it 148 to 147. Don't know where he dropped those 2 points, but what we can say for sure is that he has now shot 7 ends without dropping a single point through the semi-finals and into the final. Surely he can't do back-to-back 150s on that podium range.
Are you challenging him?
Well, I don't think I've ever seen it, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we are missing Mr. Perfect from this final, which is unusual, but wow, we've got a great shooter here who is pretty perfectionist himself.
Monsieur Parfait, perhaps, he will become. Start of the third end. Faustat into the 10, and he fancies he's got to keep drilling the middle of the target here to beat this man. Well, that one went a bit right. Opened up his group. Another 9. Impressive how calm and steady Girard looks. That's
when everything goes right, all comes together.
So 3 29s in a row. Gish Faustat 87. Quicker arrow that time. He said, well, it's not going to be perfect here in the final for Girard, the stadium announcer. But not bad at all. An 89 out of a possible 90 and a 2-point lead. But it does mean that Girard is fallible.
Yeah, like you said, it was a quick shot. He made that big move in his arm to try and bring it back into the 10, but he knew it was going to go left. But there's not too much pressure on him right now, you know. His competitor has dropped a point on each end, so he's not being pushed really hard, but, you know, it could still all change.
Well, you get a look at the emotions, the reaction on the faces of the athletes. Just checking those unique, well, maybe not completely unique, but unusual, that's for sure. 4 veined arrows for any damage. Start of the 4th in this gold medal match. Last the action on the range here on Compound Saturday here in Paris.
Really quick arrow, just dropped low. Maybe went off before he was ready for it.
Well, if anything, it's taken even more pressure off Nicolas Girard. Both claiming their first individual medals on the Hyundai Archery World Cup circuit. Looking very good for the Girard win on home soil. Another drop point, proving that can't quite keep up with the pace, the very, very amazing pace he set up early on in this. Looking down the range there. Not all archers wear their bins, do they, around their shoulders? That's in fact, I think quite unusual.
Yeah, I would say it's fairly unusual. Most archers through the qualification round use a spot and scope like the coach is using in this case, but they're not allowed to have them on the shooting line in the finals. But yeah, binoculars can be tricky to look through, hold it still. A lot of archers see him holding on top of the bow just to steady them, but when you've got your own target space like this and there's only 3 arrows, it's not too bad. You can see him pretty easy, but when there's a lot of arrows in there, it's a bit tricky.
Well, it's a fairly big lead here, 3 points for Faustat. Sounds very little, but with the quality of the archery here, we look back on an arrow that certainly Girard wasn't happy with, trying to do a bit of Boquando to move it up. But with the quality And the standard of these archers, 3 points is a big hill to climb in just one end. That's what Faugstad faces right here as we go into the fifth. Putting down a 10 to put some pressure on the Frenchman. Faugstad perhaps saving his best for last. Is it going to be enough though? So tricky here. Finishes with a perfect, which is a great way to finish, but a 145 set. 7 for a shoot-off. 10 will definitely take him to his first ever Hyundai Archery World Cup stage win, and he's done it on home soil here in the French capital of Paris. What a win for Nicolas Girard, what a performance. And he's qualified for the Hyundai Archery World Cup final, and he's done it in front of his home crowd. It's gold for Nicolas Girard here in Paris. Well, he is #1 here in Paris, but boy, he gave us all a treat here. That 150 in the semi-finals, a perfect score, and follows it up with a 148. Hugely deserving winner, but he's done it on home soil. How special is that?
Yeah, it's really special. Just come out, just blitzed it, hasn't he? Really, really impressive. I can't tell you how difficult that is under the pressure, with everything that's on this to get to that final, and brilliant shoot from him.
Yeah, spectacular stuff from Girard. Faugstad did so well to come through the shoot-off in his rather tense semi-final. But he did it, and he's made it through, and he's picked up his first ever stage medal, both in individual and team. First win, though, for Nicolas Girard. He went through at least 7 ends without dropping a single point through the semi-finals. Well, definitely went through 7 ends in the semi-final and final without dropping a single point. And the unique 4 veins on his arrows have carried him to his first ever stage win. And he's booked his place not only on the top of the podium here in Paris, but also at the Hyundai Archery World Cup final. I wonder what he has got to say about that.
Nicolas, what an incredible performance.
Nicolas, quelle incroyable performance.
Merci beaucoup, je suis très content d'avoir réussi à faire mon objectif, donc de gagner Paris. J'espère pouvoir aller aux prochaines étapes et faire de même.
So, this is your first World Cup appearance.
What should... Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I'm really happy to reach the goal I had, and I'm really looking forward to shoot even more World Cup.
So this is your first World Cup appearance here after, coming 4th place on the national team trials. Did you have something to prove here?
C'était ta première étape depuis les sélections. Est-ce que tu avais quelque chose à prouver ici?
Je voulais prouver que j'avais ma place ici, que je pouvais aller haut dans la compétition, et voilà.
I wanted to prove that I belong here, and I could go far in the competition. So here I am.
You've secured your place in the World Cup final now later this year in Mexico. And what does it mean to you?
Tu as réussi à récupérer ta place pour la finale de la Coupe du Monde à Mexico. Voilà, qu'est-ce que ça te fait?
Je suis très heureux et je vais continuer à m'entraîner pour pouvoir remporter l'or également là-bas.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, his objective was to come here to Paris and win, and that is just what he's done. Nikki, we are running very short of time here, so I'm going to ask you straight away, your highlight?
Oh yeah, it's got to be Gerard on home soil here in Paris. 150 in the semi-final, only dropping 2 points in the gold medal match as well. Phenomenal.
Yeah, totally agree. Brilliant performance from Nicolas Girard, especially in that semi-final. Dominant with a 150. Well, we are running very tight on time, our schedule here on Compound Saturday, but that's not it from Paris. Recurve Sunday coming up tomorrow. We start with the team matches in the morning, 10 a.m. Central European time for our first session. And then we will rock on at 2 p.m. Central European time for the individual competitions in the final four in both the women and men's tournament, sure to bring us plenty of entertainment, as Compound Saturday has as well. Time now for the medal ceremony for the Compound men's individual competition here at stage 3 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup circuit in the French capital of Paris.
Medals will be presented by World Archery First Vice President, Mario Scarzella. Bronze medal, representing the United States of America, Braden Galantine.
Well, he came up against a home nation athlete in the semi-finals who shot a perfect score. There was nothing Galantine could do about that, but he shot so well in the bronze medal match. Dropped a 9 in his first arrow and then 14 10s in a row for bronze here in Paris. Yet another medal for America's Braden Galantine.
Silver medal, representing Norway.
Well, I think he was astonished that he actually managed to force a shoot off in his semi-final match, but he did, and he won it. He just couldn't put it all together in the final, but Angus Fraudstad of Norway collects his first ever Hyundai Archery World Cup circuit medal.
Gold medal.
But the man of the moment here in Paris, I'm sure he'll be celebrating tonight. Shot a 150 in the semi-finals, a 148 in the finals for his first ever individual stage medal, and it's a gold medal at that, on home soil, just to put the cherry on the icing on the cake. He also claims his place at the Hyundai Archery World Cup finals at the end of the season. And it's now time to celebrate with his national anthem.
For the national anthem of France.
Well, that's it from Compound Saturday. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central European time for Recurve Sunday.
there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.